All right, so if I have sine of 45 degrees minus 120 degrees, if you look at your sum identity, you're going to see that we can rewrite this as sine of 45 degrees times cosine of 120 minus the cosine of 45 times the sine, get rid of that guy, sine of 120 degrees. Okay, then we have a unit circle, so we can check all of these values. Who can tell me what the sine of 45 degrees is? Yeah? Square root of 2 over 2. Cool. What's the cosine of 120? 3? Negative 1/2. How would you know it's negative?
Because it's in the second quadrant.
Yep, it's in the second quadrant. So we have all students, only signs are positive there. All right, then we're going to go ahead and subtract. Well, if my sine is 45 degrees is square root of 2 over 2, that means my cosine of 45 degrees is also square root of 2 over 2. Multiply that by the sine of 120 degrees. What is the sine of 120 degrees? Huh? Square root of 3 over 2. And that is positive because it's in the second quadrant as well. It's all students take calculus. All right, working our way down, we're going to have square root of 2, well, negative square root of 2 over 4 minus square root of 6 over 4, which is just going to equal negative square root of 2 minus square root of 6 all over 4, and we are done. Next two are just kind of bonus. Think about things. They are in the homework. What can I add or subtract together? Two things, alpha and beta, that give me 15, but both alpha and beta are on my unit circle. So I don't want to have 20 minus 5 equals 15 because that's not going to help me. Callie?
Can you do 45 minus 30?
I can do 45 minus 30. And 45 degrees is on my unit circle, and so is 30 degrees. How do I make 195 using the same method, either adding or subtracting, Alec?
Sine 135 plus 60.
135
Yeah.
plus 60. And both those are on my unit circle. Are there other options with that one? What about 150 and 90 plus 45. 90 plus 45 does not equal 195, though. But we could do 150 and 45. You might be able to build up from there. You could. I think you're splitting into 3 angles. I don't think we want 3 angles. Make our life a little more difficult. So a lot of these have different answers. So when you're doing the work on the test, a lot of you might start out in different places, but we should all end up in the same. All right, we are not going to do the cosine of 7 pi over 12 because that is in the previous lesson. We already did it. Doesn't pay to do it twice. Doesn't pay to do it twice. Just say, look at other lesson if you want to. We are not going to do that. We're going to focus on that tangent of negative 15 degrees because that one's really fun to simplify. All right, tangent of negative 15 degrees. How can I rewrite negative 15 degrees in terms of things that we know? Yeah.
45 degrees.
Tangent of 45 degrees? 345. We could. I just want to rewrite it in two, like either I'm adding 2 things or subtracting 2 things. Jack?
30 minus 45.
30 minus 45. That's what I was talking about. I did not ask a very good question. And so according to the question I asked, Charlie had a correct answer. It just wasn't the right question. All right, I'm looking for 2 numbers that when added together or subtracted give me negative 15. We got tangent of 30 degrees minus 45 degrees. This is how I remember this one. We're going to take the tangent of my first term, so 30 degrees. And because this is negative, I'm going to subtract right off the bat. I'm going to go minus tangent of 45 degrees. On the bottom on this one, I have 1. And because I had subtraction on top, I'm going to use addition on the bottom. So I have 1 plus tangent of 30 degrees times tangent of 45 degrees. So that is how I always remember that one. I remember whatever sign's in here, I bring it on top and I flip the sign on the bottom. So if this would be plus, if this was 30 plus 45 degrees, this would be plus and this would be minus. Okay, just little tidbits on how to study it. Now we just have to take out our unit circle and let it do the work for us. Can someone tell me the tangent of 30 degrees? JP, can you find the tangent of 30 degrees?
It's square root of 3 over 3.
Yeah, square root of 3 over 3. That's what makes it fun. All right, who can give me the tangent of 45 degrees? Yeah, it is 1. And that means my unit circle is pretty much done. I just got to plug in the same information down below. So I'm going to have 1 plus square root of 3 over 3 times 1. I'm going to do just a little bit of reorganizing because I want my square roots and stuff all lined up. So I'm going to square root of 3 over 3 minus 1 over square root of 3 over 3 plus 1. So I just lined everything up. How can I tidy this up a little bit? I want to get rid of those fractions. At the very least, I want to get rid of those fractions. Yeah.
Multiply by the conjugate.
I can multiply by the conjugate. Yeah, I'm going to do that in a second. That will work. It will work, but it's going to be a little more complicated. The first thing I want to do is get rid of the fractions by multiply by 3. So the conjugate would be perfect. It would work. It's just you're multiplying by square root of 3 over 3, and it gets more difficult. So let's just make it a little simple on ourselves by multiplying the top by 3 and the bottom by 3. And let's come way over on the other side, because otherwise I'm going to run out of room. And we are going to have square root of 3 minus 3 all over square root of 3 plus 3. Now what do I multiply by? The conjugate. Yep. We're going to multiply by the conjugate. So I'll multiply by square root of 3 minus 3. The top I'm going to multiply by square root of 3 minus 3. All right. When I do my distributing, I'm going to have square root of 3 times square root of 3, which gives me 3. I'm going to have minus 6 square root of 3. And finally, negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9er. All over. Well, the whole point of multiplying by the conjugate is that it creates a difference of squares. So that means over here I am going to have the square root of 3 squared, which is actually 3, minus that 3 squared, which is 9. That's the whole point of it. Alright, tidying it up a little bit more. I got 3 plus 9, which is 12, minus 6 square root of 3, all over 3 minus 9 is negative 6. We can split that into 2 fractions. We can split that into 12 over negative 6 minus 6 square root of 3 over negative 6, which is going to equal a negative 2, plus 6 divided by 6 is 1, so it's just square root of 3. Here's what I expect on the test. All right, on the test, I am okay if you stop right here. Is there a lot of good work after that? That might appear on tests and stuff, like if it's multiple choice? Yeah, so what I'm going to say to you is you can stop here because that's everything I wanted to see out of you. If you continue on and you simplify it, you'll get a bonus point on the test. All right, so these questions that have tangent in them that end up with these fractions have a bonus point already built into them. So if you stop here, you get full points. If you continue on and you simplify it, you will get a bonus point. If you mess up simplifying, you will not lose points. All right, so if you try to simplify and you do it wrong, I'm just going to circle this and just say 4 out of 4 points. Stop there.
So if you get the extra point, it would be 5 out of 4 or 5 out of
5 out of 4. That'll be a bonus point.
5? Just for, is there going to just be one of them then?
I don't know. Be on the lookout for them. Maybe they won't even be on the test. Who knows? Maybe I'll just be a jerk and make sure I avoid those questions altogether. But just so you know, that way you are spending time practicing this, Willie. That way you're practicing this, but it's not your priority. Your priority is that you get to here. That's what I'm saying right now. Your priority is getting to here. All right? If you can do this after, it's bonus. It'll help you in life. But right now your priority is making sure you can do this first of all. All right, any questions?